You know that feeling when you're just folding laundry or maybe washing the dishes and your mind's just somewhere else entirely?
Mm-hmm. Totally disconnected.
Right. Okay, so let's think about this. What if even those totally routine moments could actually hold something deeper, a little spark of understanding maybe?
Well, what's really fascinating here is this whole idea that the intention we bring, even to the most ordinary actions, it has this surprising power. It shapes what we actually experience.
Exactly. And well, that's really the focus of our deep dive today, devotion in the everyday. And
Right.
we're exploring this through the lens of conscious cooking, using inspiration from The Art of Devotion, Katharita Parsons Lamosa.
It's a really interesting source.
Yeah, this book really digs into how bringing genuine intention to what we do, I mean, even something as basic as making a meal, can completely change how we see it, how we engage with it.
And the author, Katharita Parsons Lamosa, she isn't just theorizing about this stuff. The text suggests she truly lives it. It's about seeing that our intention isn't just a thought floating around.
No, it's active.
It actively contributes to the reality we're creating in that moment.
So our mission for you, the listener today, is really to understand how consciously bringing that intention, even to the simplest tasks, might shift your whole experience. Could it be that these moments offer a different kind of, well, nourishment, something beyond just the physical? Let's explore that.
Okay, so the source material kicks off with a pretty compelling contrast, looking at the traditional Indian perspective on cooking.
Right. It points out that, in the West, often we see cooking as just functional, getting food on the table, basically.
Get it done.
Yeah. But in India, this concept of preparing a meal for the Lord, well, that elevates the entire thing.
And it's not just about the final plate of food, is it?
No, not at all.
It's the whole act. The meticulous care they talk about, the love, the kindness that's infused, the actual devotion in every single step.
It really challenges that Western tendency to sort of compartmentalize things, Sacred over here, everyday stuff over there.
Exactly. The Indian approach suggests even these mundane tasks hold potential for real spiritual connection.
Imagine that every ingredient, every chop, every stir just imbued with that kind of focused intention. It really does transform the food, doesn't it? From just sustenance.
Into something else entirely,
Yeah.
something carrying, well, a spiritual essence, maybe even a blessing, as the text puts it. And this lines up with Zoran's observation in the text. He talks about seeing similar acts of devotion, across different cultures, different times.
Right. He sees them as reflections of something bigger.
Yeah, reflections of a deeper cosmic harmony. What's called Leela in the text.
Leela,
Yeah.
that's the divine play concept, right?
Essentially, yes. The idea that the universe itself is a kind of divine play, and our acts of devotion, however small, are us participating in that cosmic dance. It's a beautiful way to think about it.
It really is. And then here's where it gets really interesting when we contrast this with, well, some modern approaches.
Okay.
The text brings up examples like that competitive cooking show Chopped
Oh, yeah.
and
Intense.
fast food places like Burger King.
And the motivations there,
Yeah,
they're clearly different, aren't they? It's all about speed, competition, profit, volume.
definitely seems that way. Though it makes you wonder, is it fair to say all fast food lacks intention? Or maybe there's just a different kind of intention, like focus purely on efficiency.
That's a really good point. It's probably not a simple black and white thing, but it certainly makes you think about the energy involved.
Totally. All that pressure on Chopped, the clock ticking down, the stress.
And then the mass production, the focus on cost and fast food. It leads you to ask what kind of, energetic quality is being infused into that food.
Compared to something made with that deep sense of devotion we were talking about.
Right. The difference feels pretty stark. It really highlights how our underlying reasons, our motivations, fundamentally seem to shape the energetic quality of what we create and ultimately what we consume.
It raises big questions, doesn't it, about how our mental state, our emotions are all kind of interconnected with the physical things we make and take in.
He really does.
And speaking of someone who truly embodies this, the text introduces us to Katharita Parsons Lamosa. It paints this picture of someone who takes this principle of conscious intention way beyond just the kitchen. It's like her whole life, her family, every single action.
She's presented almost as a living example of conscious creation, someone who deeply understands that each moment is a chance to infuse reality with, love and care.
And, well, there's a personal connection here for me. I actually had the incredible privilege of learning Indian cooking from Katharita. years ago when I lived in New York City.
Oh, wow. That makes it much more real, doesn't it, having that direct experience?
It really does.
What stands out most from your time learning with her?
Honestly, her incredible generosity. You know how sometimes really skilled cooks can be a bit guarded
Uh-huh.
about their
Oh,
secrets?
definitely. Keep the recipes close.
Katharita was the complete opposite. She shared everything so freely, her recipes, her techniques, but also just her warmth. There was this genuine humility and kindness about her. It was really something.
And the text mentions her positive outlook, too, right? How she reframes challenges.
Yeah, exactly. Seeing them not as setbacks, but as chances to grow, to align better with that cosmic rhythm we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm. And her family life is described similarly,
Yeah.
like a kind of microcosm of that harmony.
Yes, very nurturing. And there's one story from the text that really sticks with me. This massive undertaking she did. A 15-course Indian feast
15 courses. Wow.
for fundraiser, serving 200 people. It took like 3 solid days of cooking.
Goodness, that sounds incredibly stressful.
You'd think so, but what's striking is how the text describes the atmosphere. It wasn't chaotic or frantic. It was actually joyful.
Really?
Yeah.
With that much work?
Yeah. Apparently, even with that huge workload, Katharita just fostered this really relaxed, supportive learning environment for everyone helping out.
That's amazing. And probably key to making it work without burning out.
And that's such a key takeaway, isn't it?
Hmm.
I remember even in just her regular classes, how much easier it felt to learn in that calm atmosphere. That knowledge just seemed to, I don't know, absorb effortlessly.
That really underscores the impact of our internal state, doesn't it?
Yeah.
On the whole creative process, and even just our ability to learn and grow.
Absolutely. And the text really emphasizes the lasting influence Katharita had, not just on my cooking skills, which definitely improved, but on something much deeper.
Like what?
This fundamental understanding, really, that any act of creation, whether it's cooking, writing, or anything, is always rooted in consciousness, in intention.
That's a powerful realization.
It really is. And, you know, the text talks about our friendship, how it's lasted over years and distance. It uses this beautiful phrase, a standing wave.
A standing wave. Suggesting that connection is resilient, timeless, transcending space.
Exactly. It feels like that, like an enduring connection.
That's lovely.
Oh.
Then we get to this incredibly potent quote from Zoran in the text.
Oh, yeah. This one really makes you stop and think.
He says, "The universe does not taste the food you prepare. It tastes the love and intention you infuse into it. Cook with devotion, and you feed the cosmos itself."
Wow. I mean, feed the cosmos itself. That really shifts your perspective, doesn't it?
Completely. It moves the focus entirely away from just the physical result, the food, to the underlying energy, the motivation behind the action.
And building right on that, the text introduces something called the Dragon Trial,
Okay.
which is attributed to Katharita Parsons Lamoz. And this is presented as a practical exercise, something for you, the listener, to try, to experience this firsthand.
Ah, good. Taking it from theory into practice. That's always important for really getting a concept, I think.
Totally. And the exercise is wonderfully simple, really. You just choose a routine, everyday task. Could be anything, making your coffee, doing the dishes, even taking out the trash.
Something you do without thinking, usually.
Exactly. And you perform it with the specific intention of, well, cooking a meal for the Lord. Bring that same level of focus, care, love, kindness to it.
So really pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention to the little details, your movements, the sensations. How does the task feel in your body when you approach it this way?
And then you reflect afterwards.
Right. The text poses these questions. Does the task feel more meaningful than usual? Is there more enjoyment, maybe? Do you feel more connected to what you're actually doing? How does shifting your intention like that resonate inside you?
Interesting. A simple way to experiment with the core idea.
Exactly. So as we kind of bring this deep dive toward a close, the central message that really comes through is, well, it's the extraordinary potential of intention.
Yeah, its power to transform the ordinary, the mundane moments of our lives into something, well, something special.
And connecting this back to, you know, that inherent desire we all have for knowledge, for those aha moments. Maybe the deepest insights aren't always found in some grand discovery out there. Maybe they're found right here in consciously, deliberately engaging with the seemingly small, everyday stuff.
It suggests a different way of seeking understanding, perhaps. More internal, more present.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? If Zoran's words are true, you know, if devotion in even the smallest tasks, really does feed the cosmos itself.
What does that imply about everything we do?
Right. What kind of far-reaching impact are our intentions having, maybe all the time, without us even realizing it? Definitely something profound to consider.